Hey guys, have you ever struggled with the balance of loving yourself and being hard on yourself? With the balance of pushing yourself, but also being graceful and patient with yourself? Man, I know I did. And in fact, it was quite a journey because I struggled with self-esteem and self-confidence. And I was often hard on myself in the wrong things and too soft on myself in the things that actually mattered. And occasionally I would beat myself up with guilt or shame because I didn't do something I was supposed to do. And it was a challenge to find this balance. And it was really interesting. Like people would, some people, and still people say things because of the way I love to push and drive. And they would say things, like, oh, you got to love yourself more. Oh, take it easy on yourself. And it's interesting how often the people around us, with the best of intent, give us the wrong advice. So I wanted to share today, just give some strategies that really can help you get dialed in with that dichotomy, right? The dichotomy of success. And the dichotomy is when there's two seemingly opposing principles or ideas or practices, but they're actually really good for us. So in a lot of ways, we should be hard on ourselves, but in the right things. And in a lot of ways, we should be patient and loving and graceful, allow ourselves grace, but in the right things. And if we get that kind of equation flipped or twisted, man, then things get totally out of whack and we're miserable. We're miserable and we don't get results. And then some people get results, but they're miserable. And the idea is to get results and be happy. And so the ideal is that you're totally comfortable in your own skin, so to speak. It's a phrase we use in English here in the States, of being comfortable in your own skin, meaning you're okay with who you are. And this is, I gotta point this out, like my wife and I teach this all the time. Life is like a two-sided coin, and there are two sides to everything. So remember that, it's one of the most valuable principles we can remember in life. And it seems like dichotomies, right? That they're opposing sides, but there's always two sides. So on one side, you have to be comfortable with who you are and be comfortable in your own skin, love yourself, be patient with yourself. When you make mistakes, be graceful. And on the other side, man, you gotta push yourself. You gotta be hard on yourself. You gotta drive, man. This isn't hard on yourself where you beat yourself up, right? Or you inflict any kind of mental, emotional, or physical self-harm. It's not that. It's this space where you know who you are, who you can become, and what you can achieve. And you know what your potential is, and you don't allow yourself to slack. You don't allow yourself off the hook, so to speak, and you don't allow yourself to be subpar and to operate below your capacity, because anytime you or I live below what we're capable of, man, it eats us up inside with turmoil because we know we're better than that. And so you hold yourself firmly with discipline to the standard of your best self, who you know you can become. But then when you occasionally, you miss a great workout or things don't work out like you thought, you don't beat yourself up. You allow some grace of, okay, I get it, let's move forward. But here's the problem. A lot of people they're easy on themselves when it comes to doing the right things. So let me explain here so I'm not misunderstood. You consistently, almost daily, you're like, well, I made a commitment to eat better and exercise more, but it's okay that I didn't. And the next day, it's okay that I didn't. And it's okay that I didn't. And so they're easy on themselves in the wrong way. And so they allow themselves to just do all these things they know they don't really want to do and shouldn't be doing because it's not healthy. And then they beat themselves up with guilt and other things. And so I want to invite you to switch that to where you and I were operating in a space where occasionally, if we miss a target, it's okay. I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm going to hold myself to a high standard. We're back on it, right? And if I fall off, even in the daytime, I was thinking about this the other day, how a lot of times we'll maybe, something happens and we end up, the morning kind of gets shot, so to speak, is what we say, or the evening gets shot. But we often think, oh, I already blew it today. I might as well blow it some more, which is just crazy thinking. If you wasted a couple hours on something, stop immediately and get back in the game, even if you only have 10 minutes left. read a great book, rewrite your goals in your journal, revisit your philosophy journal. If you don't know what that is, go. It's like, I think it's episode 57 and 58 of the Extraordinary Family Life podcast. You get what I'm saying here? So I want to invite you with me, and it's a journey I went through. And once I got dialed in, you guys, I'm able to accomplish so much and push myself so hard, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, socially, financially, to set big, dumb goals, demanding, unrealistic, meaningful, and bold, and yet still be totally comfortable in my own skin and totally, have a lot of self-love and compassion and grace for when I'm not, nailing it 100%, right? And when I miss certain times, or I slip up, or I fail. I'm going to fail a lot because I'm pushing so hard and so fast. I'm going to fail, and I'm going to have grace with myself when I fail. But I'm not going to let myself off the hook for what I know I'm capable of doing and living a high standard, because every day I am training for greatness. And every day you are training for something. And I hope it's greatness. And so I hope you get to this comfortable place where you literally love yourself. You have wonderful practices of self-care with the intent to be your best self, not self-care with the intent just to take it easy all the time. In fact, we probably should never take it easy. We should have wonderful pushing effort moments, and then we should have wonderful recovery, right? So stress recovery. A lot of times we get stressed with no good recovery, or we try to use different things for recovery that just don't work. So again, two sides of that coin. Be hard on yourself and be gentle with yourself. So it's being firm and gentle at the same time. It's being tough and tender at the same time. And they seem opposing, right? It seems like both sides of that coin. But I promise, if you and I will live and operate in a space where we're hard on ourselves in the right things, meaning I get up early. Well, because I go to bed early. So I start there. I go to bed early. I'm not wasting time on just junk that's not adding to my life. I get up early. I'm reading. I'm writing. I'm exercising hard. Whatever I do with greatness. I'm all in, right? I'm disciplined. I'm determined. And when that changes, and then, I have grace and patience with myself as I make mistakes and I get progressively better. And then I'm not beating myself up. I don't have any mental, emotional, spiritual turmoil or anything, because I'm living a great life. Now, there's one thing that I see all the time, because I get to coach people every single day. I love it. There's one thing I see all the time. When we get sucked into the slavery of addiction and bad habits, it's almost impossible to like yourself when you're doing unlikable things. And that is that one element that just, you got to be so firm with yourself. Again, not this beating yourself up, hating yourself. I think we can effectively and in a healthy way allow guilt to drive us in the right direction. Again, not beating ourselves up and not loathing, not any self-loathing, but I feel guilty because I did put something pathetic. Guilt can be a very good thing in our lives when it keeps us from doing dumb things. So if you get caught in addiction or caught in these really negative habits, you got to break those things. You have to eliminate those things from your life. And that's where you need some serious discipline, some serious self-imposed consequences, some accountability partners, where you make it happen and you push yourself in the right way, in the right direction, and in the right things. And man, life gets so good, because then you can get the results you want, have the success, and have the joy and the contentedness and the happiness of achieving it. Love you guys. Reach upward.